we even step foot in Helsinki, Finland, did you know that they have an underground tunnel system that runs over 200 miles? Now that in and of itself isn't that remarkable. We've seen tunnel systems around the world. But this one in Helsinki is shopping centers, there are swimming pools, and there's a nuclear bunker that can hold over 900,000 people in case of an emergency. That is more than the city's population. What else is Helsinki hiding? As we sail in, we sail through Helsinki's archipelago and coastal waterways, which are lined with birch and pine trees, which obviously thrive here. They're so beautiful, so green, so lush. These waters are part of the Gulf of Finland, leading into the Baltic Sea, and are home to more than 330 islands. I always love seeing our executive chef collecting all the local fish from the pier. This man took such incredible care of me, specifically because I have such a restricted diet. Stepping off the ship onto Finnish land, there's one thing that we have been dying to do for months now.
Finland, 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 the country where I want to be. It's so very near Russia.
So very near Russia.
So far from Japan.
So far from Japan.
Finland, Finland, Finland. Finland has it all.
Sorry, there's one. Finland has it all.
We've waited so long for that moment. I actually had to film it twice so I could get it in both horizontal and vertical on the recording. We're just a couple of dorks. We decided to walk because Helsinki, even though it's a major metropolitan city, it doesn't feel overwhelming at all. We're huge walkers, and so we're just gonna hit the town walking. But if you don't feel like walking, Helsinki has an extensive tram network. These trams date back to 1891, and today they're one of the most efficient and environmentally friendly tram system in the world, with electric powered trams covering 130 kilometers of tracks. As we wandered, we're taken by the incredible architecture here. This building is from 1892 and it reflects Helsinki's old world charm. Our intention today is to stop at Helsinki's Rock Church, also known as the very difficult to say Tempeliaukio Church. It's one of Helsinki's most famous sites. I have my thoughts on that. But before we get to the church, we want to stop at Ekberg 1852. It's a bakery with incredible, iconic pastries that I was not going to miss. The Ekberg Bakery is the oldest bakery in Finland. Look at this incredible shop. It smells insane in here, the options are endless, and there's tables outside so you can sit and enjoy your endless purchases. I tried just one of their famous korva putsi.
Maybe kind of like a Norwegian bolla, but like a cinnamon roll, but it has the same sugar on it.
Wait till Norway. You'll get the real bolla. It's nothing like a bolla, but it looks good.
Delicious.
But it looks good.
Do you want to try some?
I will try some, but don't call it a bolla.
All right, here you go.
Think like Finnish cinnamon roll. It's flaky, it's buttery, it's cinnamony, it's iconic for Ekberg, and it was delicious. Chef's kiss.
Okay, we've arrived in Finland. What city are we in?
Helsinki.
No, what were you calling it?
Helsinki. I was calling
Helsinki
it-
for the
I
longest time.
I had some verbal dyslexia, all right?
But it is
It's Helsinki.
Helsinki. You got it now?
Yeah, I'm
Welcome to
over.
Helsinki, Finland.
I was drunk.
Stop it.
With happy bellies, we headed to the rock church, Tempeliakio Church. Although touted as one of the absolute must-sees while in Finland, yeah, I'm gonna go on record and say it was a considerable walk. I think it was about an hour walk for us to get out to the church. And again, it was highly recommended to go to the church. It's built into a rock, so that's cool. The acoustics are known to be incredible in here, which you can imagine with the rock surrounding it. We didn't hear the acoustics because we were just touring the building. So maybe having heard the acoustics, we would feel differently. But given that we needed to pay to get into the church, and if you've watched my videos, I have a thing about paying to get into a church. And I know that they have to maintain these churches and there's so many tourists coming in and out, but I don't know, it just doesn't feel right to have to pay to get into a church. And so the ones that we don't have to pay, which are rare anymore, are always such a special gem. And we've seen some that have been absolutely spectacular that we haven't had to pay to get in. And then others that we wondered why we paid to get in. And unfortunately, this one, we wondered why we walked that far and why we paid to get in. It was just kind of meh. So I would be interested, if you've been to Helsinki and you've seen this church, what your thoughts are. Was it like drop dead, you absolutely had to go and you loved it? Were you underwhelmed like we were? I would love to hear your comments. Put them below. Now it's time to scavenge and explore. And look what we ran into. Any guesses what this building is? It's the Campy Chapel. It's also known as the Chapel of Silence. So we're gonna just take a minute here. Oh, silence is such a beautiful thing. She says while she continues talking, the ultra-modern wooden chapel here was built in 2012, and it's a completely silent space in the middle of one of Helsinki's busiest squares. No talking, no distraction, just a place for quiet reflection. Oh, that sounds divine. Then we stumbled upon the train station that has the longest name in the world, I think. Okay, that's probably not, I don't know that to be factually accurate, but let's say this together. And I didn't make this up. This is the name of the train station. It is the Helsingin Parataisima. Parataisima train station. The Helsinki Central Railway Station was designed in 1919 and is a national landmark famous for its 4 giant stone figures holding lanterns at the entrance. And this place was incredible. These statues have become one of Finland's most recognized symbols. they even appear in local advertising. And the interior is just as impressive. It has these high arch ceilings, huge chandeliers. There's restaurants and shops inside. It was so cool. And these train stations, like to me, train stations just seem to be such a mechanism of travel. But what we have seen around the world, I mean, think about Grand Central Station in New York here in the United States. These are massive, impressive, ornate, incredibly beautiful buildings, and this one is on the list. It was so cool. Just outside the station, we saw a restaurant suspended from a crane where you could eat while hanging over the city and see the Finnish National Theater and obviously the skyline of the city from up there. We actually looked into eating there, but the next reservation slot wasn't going to be soon enough for us to hang out. The Finnish National Theater that you can see from the restaurant and from the train station is the oldest professional theater in Finland. And it's an architectural masterpiece. You can see how beautiful this building is and just recognizes Finish's national romanticism. We continue past the art museum and then boom, the Helsinki Cathedral appears and it's like, whoa! Oh my gosh, this place is incredible.
That is the Finland Cathedral, and we're in Senate Square in Finland. It's so beautiful here. It is so beautiful here. The weather's beautiful, although we were prepared for rain. The city is beautiful. It's clean. It's gorgeous. And I love it. Thank you, Finland.
Built in 1852, this neoclassical cathedral dominates Senate Square. But here's a fun fact. The statues on the roof there that you can see aren't actually saints. They're zinc statues of apostles. They're meant to symbolize the city's devotion rather than any specific religious figure. I love that. Senate Square itself is the heart of Helsinki's historic center, and it's just this big, open, wide square. You could see all kinds of events going on in here, and just locals and tourists lining these steps of the cathedral to watch whatever's going on in the square. It was so vibrant and energetic in there. Just a super cool spot and a perfect photo stop because that's where the Helsinki sign is. Just when we think that we've seen all these cool buildings and churches and the train station, we come around the corner to the Ouspensky Cathedral. This massive red brick Orthodox cathedral was built in 1868 and is the largest Orthodox church in Western Europe. It has golden domes and this incredibly rich interior, and we just thought it was one of the most striking buildings we had seen in Helsinki. On our way back to port, we crossed the Lovelock Bridge. These Lovelock bridges we've seen all over the world. Obviously, the idea is you go with your lover, you padlock your initials onto a padlock, put it onto the bridge, throw the key, and you'll have eternal, everlasting love. There's this one in Helsinki. We've seen them everywhere. In Verona, we saw them in Paris. And actually in Paris, they've made it illegal to even do these locks anymore because the Pont d'Arc bridge, actually a portion of it collapsed from the weight of all these locks. So it's cool to see them. I understand them restricting it, but I don't know. It still warms my heart every time I see them. I'm just a sucker for love. We'd been eyeing these food stalls when we got off the ship to start our tour around Helsinki this morning, and we're so glad we waited to eat because the fish was next level. I'm a vegetarian, but I eat fish, so I guess that's pescatarian. And I have eaten so much fish all over the world and loved every single bite of it. But these food stands, the Helsinki is not messing around. Like, oh my gosh, it was so good. Reasonably priced. There's a whole bunch of options. There were reindeer meatballs and regular meatballs and beef and vegetables, and oh, so good. I'm sure there's all kinds of great restaurants in Helsinki, but if I were going to give you a recommendation, you're going to just eat lunch, I would definitely eat at these food stalls right on the water, right by the cruise port. They're also right by the Old Market Hall, which I'm going to tell you about next. But if you're going to be Googling kind of the location, look for the Old Market Hall, and then you'll see all the food stands right there. But before we head back on board, we have to stop at the Old Market Hall. This hall was built in 1889 and is Helsinki's oldest indoor market. And it was just filled to the brim with stalls selling seafood, meat, pastries, everything reindeer you can imagine. And we even saw our ship's chef in the market. He was picking up caviar for our chef's table experience. I think he would have hung out with us because we were having so much fun. But yeah, it was just fun to see him and seeing purchasing stuff. We ended our day meeting up with Mike from, some of you might know Mike from Living Phase 2 on YouTube. Keepish. If you don't subscribe to Living Phase 2 on YouTube, you need to run right now and go subscribe to them. They have also traveled all over the world with us on the Ultimate World Cruise. Yeah, they have done a few things together with us, but they have done a lot different. So it's just cool to kind of see both of our experiences in the same cities, but doing different things. So if you don't subscribe, go to Living Phase 2. I'll put them in the caption on YouTube. Because we have to, of course, toast, which in Finnish, cheers is keepish. This is a picture of my notes from my spreadsheet. So if you've been watching my videos as we've gone around the world, one of the things I did before we left on the Ultimate World Cruise is I have a ridiculous spreadsheet of tons of information about every single port, every single city that we were going to stop in, all the information about ports, the weather, what we were doing, you know, all of that. And then also what was to see in town. I wanted to make sure that I had 3 or 4 restaurants that were recommended so that when we ate food, we ate really good food. I'm a huge foodie, and the thing I hate more than anything is spending a ton of money on food I don't like. I will spend unlimited amount of money on food, but it's got to be good. And so I wanted to make sure I have a couple restaurants, and then also what the highlights were to see in the cities. And so before we left, when we hit the streets, I would always screenshot that so that we could make sure we referenced everything on it as we were walking. I tell you that because if you are watching the videos with me and have gone along on this journey, if you're going to be at any of these cities, or you want any of the information from my spreadsheet or the actual spreadsheet itself to fill in your own port stops or your own vacation stops, just email me at pointmysoulnorth@gmail.com and I'll send you a copy of it or send you my notes from the city that you request. I love you guys. I'll give you all the information I could possibly give you. As we sail away, the waters were incredibly calm, and here's a fun fact. The archipelago sea in Finland has over 40,000 islands, making it the largest archipelago in the world. This archipelago flows into the Swedish archipelago, which means we're in for an epic sail into Stockholm, Sweden. And y'all, I can't even begin to prepare you for this sail in to Stockholm. First of all, we have this incredible sailing. Secondly, we're in Stockholm overnight. And we do something so cool in Stockholm that this is a good segue to remind you to be sure to subscribe. Hit the bell to be notified of the Stockholm video because you are not going to want to miss this. In fact, I should do a video of just all of the footage that I captured, like hours, of the sailing through the archipelago. Literally will take your breath away. It is one of the most beautiful things I've seen, probably in the top 10 of what we've seen around the world. And it was hours and hours sailing through there. So you don't want to miss that. Be sure to subscribe. Don't forget to put your comments below. I would love to hear if you've been to Helsinki, if you've seen any of these places, especially the church, what your thoughts are on the church, the food there, and just sightseeing and what you thought of Helsinki. What you thought of the video today, any feedback. I love your comments. I love your feedback. And I'm so excited to share Stockholm with you and the journey to get there. And so until Stockholm, bye for now.